Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and we're going to be carrying on with this fella here. I'll just change my glasses and I can see where I'm looking. There we are. And we'll change slightly the angle of the camera. Okay, so this is where we left off. He's looking, as I say, a little blue, but we'll soon sort that out. Let's cheer him up a bit, shall we? Okay, so what I want to do first is with Steel Legion Drab, when I find it. Here we are. Sorry, not Steel Legion Drab, Runefang Steel. I knew it was steel something, or something steel. You can't get the stuff. And we just take a little bit of that on our brush and pop it onto our palette. And then from that we get our old favourite white scar. It won't be a second, can we just answer the phone? Hello, I'm back. Let's try again, shall we? So we've got our steel, Runefang steel on there. Now it's our white, which is just a case of bang some in, and we want like a palish, greyish colour here. Spot of water just to lubricate things. And just pick out where we want it to be. And we're going with the shape of the armour and the design in the armour, keeping away from the creases, keeping away from the recesses, because we want to keep those as they are, while all the while colouring in the big flat parts. Okay, and I may have to abandon this paint and go on to another, because the steel, Runefang steel, seems to have dried up a little too much in comparison to the white. But we'll see how things go. We may hopefully be able to do the whole model that we need to do, because we're going all the way over the model, well, the white parts anyway. This is going to be the actual colour of the armour. We'll be going over again with white as a highlight colour. There we are. And there's some areas actually where we can leave the blue, because it adds that something to it, a little bit of shadow, but you don't want to be doing everywhere or leaving a lot of the blue showing. Where is it? Fingers there, the glove, and just the edge of the finger. We don't want to do all the fingers, because if it goes too close to that glove or the edge of the glove, we're going to lose the shadow detail. And here we can go up to that little bit of a recess there and stop. and the same on this side as well, just a few little dabs, and that will do the trick. Just little, some certain areas you can just pick out. You'll see them when you come to paint. You can pick and choose where this part goes now. You can get very fussy over certain areas. Of how you'd like it to be, and that's good. That is a good thing. You want to be a little bit fussy on these as it stands now, because let's face it, this is going to be the finished product. It's not a it's not the base coat. It's going to be how the model is going to look at the very end. So I said, the fussier you can be here, the better it will look. In principle. Oops. So sometimes you are going to sort of like catch areas that you don't want to catch, but yeah, not to worry. Just try and be a little extra careful with this part, and I think I'm going to have to mix some more paint, which is a bit of a pain, but again, not to worry. It's not the end of the world. It's just an inconvenience. I'll just finish this edging, the shoulder pad. I might be able to do the top edge, and as you can see, a lot of the detail on this shoulder pad is virtually non-existent because of the way it's moulded. So don't need to go too overboard on some of the areas. Just try and actually see the design and add the design where it needs to be, if you feel confident enough in doing that. If you don't, then just paint it. I'm going to say it's not the end of the world if something is not quite spot on. Let's face it, these are all hand painted, so we're not expecting in fact immense, awesome artwork. We're expecting a few little individuality, shall we say. I'm just going to add some more of the silver, more of the white, and I'm mixing it on top of the old one because I want a similar colour paint, very similar shade. A little bit more white, and that is, I think, that. I bring it to a point, and then we can continue with the piece here. Just in case you're wondering why it's suddenly gone quiet and the fan's turned off, it was my computer. It's gone into hibernation mode, I think, whatever you call it. So there we are. Try not as well to go too close to each edge when you're doing this part, because you want, as I say, you want some of the shadow detail there to bring it out, to make it look like a 3D model. Oh yeah, and just pick and choose the areas where you want the paint to go. Be fussy, as I say, be fussy. There's going to be a slight difference in this, or with this one, than there will be with the sniper. So we'll get to that when the time comes. That's the next one I'm going to be doing. I have an idea of the colour scheme I want for that. So what we're doing here is just going everywhere that is going to be white with this, but as I said, picking out details. We have a glove here that I forgot to paint, so bypass that one. And there we are. That's that part done, and now the knee pads. As you can see, I'm not going right to the very centre with the knee pads, it's just and then a quick spot on the edges, and now oops, there we are. And that is it for the basically the white areas. We are going to be going back over in a few moments when it's dry with white just to highlight, but while we're waiting for this bit to dry, we're going to be going over the blue areas. So there we are. Right, so that is that part done. And so we want a finer brush. We're using this time the fine detail brush, and we're using the Altdorf Guard Blue. So with this we are going over the bit that I usually forget on these models, which is the Mohican part of his helmet. And there we are. Okay, now just little spots inside on the different shapes in his armour, which is, well, when I say his armour, in the blue parts of the armour. You know, pick and choose again which areas you want to do. If it's a little bit further into like shadow, like those parts there, I've not bothered doing it because not seeing much need to. But yeah, do the areas that will be in shadow. Sorry, do the areas that won't be in shadow. What am I on about? So you can tell by my voice I'm a little bit congested at the moment. So I'll try my best to keep talking without coughing, to be honest. There we are. And that really is that. I might want a little bit in there, but I'm just going to try and get some paint on my brush and bring the brush to a point and do that, do that, and do that. I think that is all. There we are. Next step, again using the fine detail brush and the white scar, is going over the white parts of the armour. As I said, we're just picking out certain parts. Little dabs here and there just to show where light is hitting, picking out a little bit of detail. Anyway, as I said, pick and choose where you're going. And don't do all the area, just do certain parts of the areas that you're painting. As I said, this is the actual highlight, so you want the top edges to be the brightest and the bottom to be a little darker. Some areas won't be touching with this. And there we are. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing here. It would help if you could. More importantly, I hope I've been on camera for all of it, because as you know, I have sometimes a bit of a problem trying to stay within the camera's field of vision. Hope I've managed that with this. If not, I do apologise. And as I said, we're just touching up the areas where light is going to be hitting. We're not going to be touching any shadow areas, and we are certainly going to be picking and choosing the exact spots where the light is going to be hitting. And as you can see, I've not done certain areas. I said there will be certain areas where you'll want the light, or you'll want it a bit brighter than you would, which, you know, if you think about it, is right. There we are. And that is it. For the white. Next, as I clean my brush out once more, it's Sotek Green. Yeah, I know it seems strange putting a green on a blue, but Sotek Green is more of a quite a dark turquoise. So it's not an incredibly huge difference between the colours, and with this we're just doing a few spots here and there on some of the blue areas, and I mean just a spot, we're not doing a great deal. I'm just showing where that little extra bit of light is hitting. Yep. And finally at the top of his helmet, and that is all we need to do for this fella. Okay, iron breaker now for the metal parts. Once the lid will stand up. So that's gun. This part on his arm where the blade is attached. I'll just skim over the blade. I'm going to be going over that with Runefang steel, so no need to don't need to go too heavy with that on these. And now it's just these areas, quick waft over. Same with that area, and those, and that, and that. I'm going to go over there. Oh, and that part. Next, as I said, the Runefang steel, just to go over the blade. It's what we mix with the white for the armour, if you remember. And it's a quick wipe down, 1, 2. I'll do the same there as well. And just in case you're wondering, I will be going over with another colour in a few moments once it's dried. The next one we're going to be doing is Administratum Grey. I'm using the standard brush because it's got a much finer point than the detail brush has at the moment, and it's just touching up on the belt, the top edge of the belt. There's a bit of a highlight, and Wasdaka red, as you know, for the gun. And we'll be just doing this area here. We don't want a small part of that red, but we do want that little bit of red there. That's that done. What I also want to do is get more red. So this picks up to a finer point, and we'll do that. The little ocular device is red, as you can see. Now, so I'm going to be using another colour on the sword, or whatever it may be. And that colour is Guilliman Blue. And all we're doing for that is that. And to be honest, I don't think I did that on this one, so I'm going to quick match both the swords. There we go, so that gives a nice bluish tint. And when all that's dried, we can come along and do the basing. But that I will show you in the next video. In fact, no, I will do it now quickly, because in the next video I can we can give it time to dry until the next video, so we'll do that. We'll do it now. Okay, so I'm just cleaning out my brush that I use for this part. We have our MacLeod Dark Earth pot of textured whatever it may be, and we apply. Now you see me do this with the in other videos for the plague, but with these I'm not too fussy about keeping about disguising the little ring there that's caused by the new, or the smaller space going into the bigger one. If it hides it, fine and dandy. If it doesn't, I'm not really bothered, because of what I want to do with it, because I'm not leaving it as it is. As if you've seen the previous video, or a previous video, not the previous video, you've seen a previous video, you know that I had a little more to these than I did with the plague models. And as I said, when I come to do the next video, I will show you exactly what it is I'm doing and how I will go about achieving the look that I want. But I'm not building it up incredibly textured. Okay, so that is that one so far. When we come back, I will show you what I do with the rest of the base. I've got some of the texture paint on the thing, but it doesn't make any difference now, for the simple reason being it makes it look as though he's doing some work. Okay, so that is our trooper painted. As I say, it's just a case of finishing off the base. I may do that, as I say, I may do that in the next video. There again, saying that I may just get on with painting the others and then come back to the basing and show you how I did the basing all in one. So there we are. So that's it again from me and my little trooper friend here. So until next time, take care, God bless, and bye for now.